How you feeling right now?
Life, you know, life as a sports fan, right? I feel this game went 5 quarters. I think we're going to talk about it a lot. I know our emotions are raw right now. I just feel like this defense actually played so well. When you would have play 5 quarters of football, it's tough. Special teams, although Moody had some big long field goals, I have to credit him. Those were clutch as hell. Missing the extra point, muffed punt that led to an easy touchdown. That was the difference in this game. I said before the game, you have to have touchdowns over field goals. Now, when you're kicking 50-yard field goals, you love that, right? But when you drive all the way down the field, take half of the overtime, get inside, get to the 5-yard line. It was 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. They got down to the 5. It was 2nd and 4 on a 6-yard run from the 11 to the 5. 2nd and 4, they run into the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 4, again, pressure. And I don't fault Brock. There were guys open. There's really nothing there. Brock made plays with his feet all the way down the field to secure that drive, to get them an opportunity. You had to feel good, try to hold them to a field goal attempt, and they couldn't do it. That's all there is to it. So I can't, I know we're going to talk about this. It's tough, though, because Kyle also was ballsy as hell going for it on 4th and 3, which is the only reason that game made it to overtime anyway. So for me to sit there and so we can I'm going to critique different plays, right? What can you say? It's going to be at least it was 29 years and now it's at least 30. And I'm confronted with the thought of, is this team going to win a Super Bowl? Like, they have talent, but there's so much
It's not. This team as it's constructed is not. That's my opinion. Listen, we're going to break it down all off season, but absolutely not. No, it's not. It's not. It's just not. I don't even know that I blame anybody. Like, we're going to go through half by half and whatever. The Chiefs are just better, man. They're just better. Patrick Mahomes is just better. Like, you did everything you could to close the gap from 4 years ago. You swapped out the quarterback. You upgraded the quarterback. You upgraded your running back. Your offensive weapons are better. Your secondary's better. The Chiefs seemingly took a back step. And you closed the gap to get to an overtime game. It's still not enough. It's not enough, man. And it's not. This team's not getting any younger. It's not. It's just not. So, I mean, my immediate reaction, and maybe this is the emotion, is no, it's not. It's not going to happen. But
here's why. This is not like they were on the doorstep. The Niners absolutely had just as much right as the Chiefs to win this game. And I think that the idea is that it's a Super Bowl, right? There's one winner. Nobody remembers a loser. And we're not saying that this isn't like that this that they couldn't win it this year. Obviously they could have. And in a lot of ways, maybe should have, but I think it was a pretty even game. And the problem is that now you're going into next year. You've got a great roster, but the NFL is so competitive. There's so many good teams.
Everybody's getting so much better. Everybody's getting so much better.
And I'm not saying the 49ers aren't going to be competitive. They're not going to like shit the bed next year. They'll be a playoff team, right? I'm just saying, like, yeah, can they do it? Sure. But this is like to use a WWE metaphor, like all the Cody Rhodes finished the story. Jesus, like, how many years is this going to go? You can talk until you're blue in the face, but oh yeah, Brock's young, or this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. Look, these guys are getting another year older, man. CMC is not a spring chicken either. He's got a couple of years left. George Kittle. We got guys, Debo Samuel coming out, like, guys are getting hurt. And you've got core players here that are getting older. The 49ers are one of the oldest teams in the NFL. one of the oldest teams. I think Jesse, I want to say I'm not wrong on that. I thought that was like the top 3 or 4 oldest, which kind of boggles your mind because you don't think of them as like ancient. But when you go down position by position, like they're older, and that's not usually a recipe for success for sustained winning, unless you're going to rehaul. So yeah, they're going to be competitive. They're going to come in. They're not going to. But this one, I feel bad for the team. I feel bad for the guys. Those guys fought hard. I know we're going to talk about other little different things and there's other things to nitpick. I know Jake Moody's getting hammered for the missed extra point, but my God, it was blocked. It was low. He also hit 2 clutch 50-plus yard field goals when Kyle put them in positions where I felt like they could have sustained drives. And what this game come down to, and I said this before, in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 5, at the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 4, they had to figure out a way. They had to figure out a way to sustain that. If they get a first down there, Kyle can do it. They can run the ball, milk the clock down, and kick what would amount to probably be about a 40, 39-yard field goal as time expired. And if Moody misses that, it goes to overtime.
Let's run through the first half real quick and some of the things that happened there. It feels like forever ago. I mean, it was a 4.5 hour game. That was insane. But let's run through that real quick. So some of my observations, and you tell me if I miss anything. I want to try to refeel the game. All right. I see you got your son there. I want to try to refeel the game and go back through it. So first half observations that I have, big stars made big mistakes early, at least. You had the CMC fumble on the first drive. The 49ers are moving the ball at will. I talked about this all week long. I said the 49ers offense, drive 1, I believe that is your easiest drive to get a touchdown on because the Chiefs are the most vanilla they're going to be all game long. They've shown that game in and game out. You have to take advantage of it and you have to get a touchdown. They were on their way to doing just that. CMC fumbles. They get the ball back. Again, driving the ball. Trent Williams has a false start followed by a holding penalty. Back-to-back calls. Kills that drive. So that was all first quarter mistakes. Then you do a great job holding Mahomes in check. You're dominant at the line of scrimmage. And the most freak injury happens to Dre frickin' Greenlaw, man. And the thing that sucks about this, torn Achilles, will he ever be the same? If he is, it probably won't be next year. I mean, he'll play at some point, but he's not going to be most likely Dre Greenlaw all of next year. It's going to take a full year to get fully back. That one hurt big time. The defense still, held it together in the first half. Like I said, dominated the line of scrimmage, but I couldn't believe it. You had CMC and Trent Williams. These were 2 guys that everybody's trying to get a Super Bowl for. They didn't even want to get a Super Bowl for themselves. Freaking fumble and then multiple penalties on Trent. It's like, man, you guys single-handedly, between the 2 of you, killed 2 drives to start that game when things easily were flowing for the offense. What did I miss in the first half?
You didn't miss anything. And like I said, I mean, I honestly had forgotten about the CMC fumble. Hold on one second.
Yeah, you're good. The CMC fumble on the first drive.
Anybody else fumble because we had the Pacheco fumble that was actually closer inside. So in a lot of ways, those negated each other. And let's be real, right? There's no guarantee, by the way, that the Niners score a touchdown on that first drive. I mean, they might just get 3. So when Pacheco fumbled that, that Kansas City was going to go get 6. I mean, that's just the feeling we had. So in a lot of ways, but that's not how you look at football. You don't look at football by saying, we are analyzing the game, but the Chiefs made their own mistakes. Well, that's great. We'll talk about the 49ers mistakes. And I'm sorry, man. CMC, that's a huge play. People always focus on the fourth quarter and overtime. But, I'm sorry, man. That actually probably is the play of the game. The Niners are going down. I'm not, and I don't like to, hash out and, just pile on CMC here. But you were right, Jesse. They were matriculating. I mean, they were just gashing them. They were averaging. This is the first drive. They were averaging 12 yards a play. After the second drive, they were averaging
Yep.
10 yards a play, and they had 0 points on 2 drives after averaging 10 yards a play. Go up and down the field with ease. And what I don't understand is you go to that, and then I know we're jumping around a little bit, but they had, it felt also that Kyle in certain junctures completely abandoned his ability in 21 and 22 personnel to actually run against 8-man fronts, which is actually what the Chiefs are not good at. Okay. And it just, I don't know. So the CMC fumble, I think people forgot about it. I did in a lot of ways. It's a long game. It's a torturous game.
I forgot also in the first half, you had the Jawan Jennings touchdown pass, right? Because they were up 10-3. Wasn't that how they got their touchdown, right?
Yeah. And by the way, here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and like pile on Kyle or credit Kyle. That play was a great play by CMC, and the blocking got set up, right? We've seen that happen before. We've seen the Vikings game this year on some plays, things like, make no mistake, that play was not guaranteed to work at all, right? So in a lot of ways, the only touchdowns, right, we're scoring here are Jawan Jennings getting a setup block and then fighting through contact, and that was it. That was it. I felt otherwise. Drives that went down. I'm going to give credit to Brock Purdy again, much like the Lions game we were at, using his feet, using his intuition in the pocket to evade pressure, to pump fake guys out of the way and sustain that drive. That had the chance to be the all-time classic 49ers drive, and it really was.